Now in this video, I will be ranking my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And look, this is my opinion, my list, and you got a problem with it, go suck the devil's. But hey, let's get started, shall we? Coming up at number 10, I have Justice League Injustice. This is a storyline that has Superman taking what he thinks is a villain up into space, but in all reality, it was actually Lois Lane and his baby, his baby that was inside of Lois. So, and then he killed the Joker, and then he tried to take power. Look. If you ain't seen this movie, just go check it out. It's peak. Just go check it out. Coming at number 9, I have Big Boy Bruce. Jaws, you know what I'm saying? I grew up watching this movie at the age of 8, 7 to 5 years old. I love sharks. The world cannot, you know what I'm saying, persuade my, even this movie cannot persuade my love that I have for these creatures. Fascinating creatures. Masterpiece of a movie from Steven Spielberg. One of the greatest of all time. Point blank period. Just above it, I have Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Look here. I know this movie is not, well, fan wise, this movie is not well liked. You know what I'm saying? All your love superheroes, they're dead. Or like 95% of them are dead, murdered, crucified, ripped apart, turned into cyborgs. They basically made Darkseid Lucifer. They literally made him the devil. Like, you should fear this man at all costs. I love the storyline between Robin and Batman. I love the storyline between Raven. Stop trying her hardest to not let her father come out. And boy, when he comes out, cinema. And also, the boy John Constance. That's a bad mother effer, boy. That's a bad mother effer, boy. That's a bad dude. He might be my favorite how you put it, like magical, like wizard superheroes or anti-heroes of all time. Above Doctor Strange and above Doctor Fate. That nigga is OP. Coming above that at, okay, we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. My number 6 spot, look, bro. Hold on, I did not count that right. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, I'm on 6. In my number 6 spot, Deadpool. The first one. And people gonna be like, well, we get to that. But people gonna be like, why isn't Deadpool Wolverine in your top 10? It has its problems. The CGI towards the end is a big problem to me personally. CGI is awful towards the end of the movie. And also I just like this movie, bro. I think it's funnier. I think it's a better movie. And I just overall I can literally put on this movie any other day and I will enjoy myself. That's my number 6 spot. At my number 5 spot, I have The Dark Knight Rises. Oh, you thought darkness is your ally? I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see daylight till I was already a man until it was complete blinding. Yeah, Dark Knight Rises. Where's the trigger? Where is it? It's my 5th favorite. And them last 15 minutes of this movie, masterpiece. I love The Dark Knight Rises, especially the last 15 minutes. I love it. At my number 4 spot, I got Avengers Infinity War. Do I have to say anything about this masterpiece? This is peak. Do I have to say anything? I thought so. I don't. Come on. We're in the end game now. Come on. At number 4, I got Why So Serious? I got The Dark Knight. See, a lot of people call me crazy, but this movie is one of the greatest of all time. And it's period point blank a Christopher Nolan masterpiece. And I will say this. If you don't fear the Joker, and if you don't like this Batman, it's gonna be a bloody day in hell for every single one of you. Yeah. Say less. At my number 3, Logan. This movie is one of the greatest X-Men. F that. It is the greatest X-Men storyline of all time. I mean, that's a storyline. X-Men movie of all time. Period. Point blank. I don't want to hear nothing about no X-Men 2, even though that movie is peak. I don't want to hear about X-Men First Class, X-Men the Apocalypse. I don't want to hear none of that. X-Men 1, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. X-Men Days of Future Past, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no X-Men Dark Phoenix. I don't want to hear none of that. This is the greatest X-Men movie of all time. Period, point blank. And nobody can tell me otherwise. This movie makes me cry every time I watch it. Makes me get hyped every time I watch it. And makes me fuming from my freaking nostrils every time I watch it. If you can get those emotions out of me and this a freaking movie, you did your job. Hugh Jackman will always be the Wolverine. Always be Logan. And guess what? Laura Schmain killed her role is an understatement. She murdered that role. 10 out of 10 movie. One of the greatest movies of all time. And that's why it's at my number 3. Now, y'all can call me crazy, but let me explain myself. I went to the theater at 8 years old, went to go see this movie. 8 years old. The fact that me in this movie is 10. I was 8, and look, from that day, we're both 11 years old. Older than we was when it came out. I was 8 years old when this movie came out. This movie has been out for 11 years. Lord. It's just, I grew up with this movie, man. Every time I watch it, I get goosebumps. Every time the music, I get goosebumps. Optimus Prime, Lockdown, Bumblebee, Galvatron. I grew up with this movie. You gotta understand, I freaking love this movie. And I love this movie half to death. Yeah, that's it. That's my number 2. And in my number 1 spot, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This movie is a masterpiece. This movie told 3 stories into one movie and did it perfectly. This movie had 2 villains, and they are some of the best villains in fictional movie history. The 2 protagonists are some of the greatest protagonists of all time. And then the main character, Caesar himself, is one of the greatest, top 3 greatest fictional movie characters of all time. And the fact that he only had 3 movies should tell you how much Andy Serkis put his soul, his heart, and his passion into that character. Now, here are my honorable mentions, and yes, Dawn is my number 1. Here are some honorable mentions. Jurassic Park. Well, let's say all 3 of the Jurassic Park movies, and only the first Jurassic World movie. Fallen Kingdom and Dominion can go kiss my behind. And like the one that almost made this list, the 2 movies that almost made this list was Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon, and War for the Planet of the Apes. And another one that should have made my list, but I mix it up, is Planet of the Apes 1968 with Charlton Heston. But yeah, that's my list, y'all. Tell me what y'all think.